Hi guys, welcome back to Love English. So this is a great way to learn phrasal verbs by learning them specifically related to their subject. Now there are so many phrasal verbs, but there really are a lot for love and relationships. Now number one, to fall for somebody. Coming from the expression to fall in love, of course. So to fall for somebody means that you begin to like them and it's that initial phase of starting to fall in love. So I fell for him, or even I'm falling for him. To hit it off. Number two, to hit, obviously, but not in this case. It's a very nice phrasal verb to use, not only for romantic relationships, but also when we talk about meeting somebody for the first time, getting along with someone, another phrasal verb there. So if you hit it off with somebody, it means that you started in a very good way your friendship or relationship. Now, the next phrasal verb, not a great one, not something I've ever done, but to lead somebody on. If you lead someone on, you encourage them or give them false hope that there might be the chance of a romantic relationship with you. It's not a very nice thing to do, so I hope none of you have ever led anybody on. Number 4 and 5, I'm putting them together. To split up, to break up. Obviously, just meaning to separate when the relationship comes to its end. So, she was so unhappy because he broke up with her. Or, I split up with him. You could really say either and there's not any difference in meaning. Okay, this is a phrasal verb usually associated more with something men will do. But this day and age, there's some great, very confident women out there. To hit on somebody. Now, if you hit on somebody, how do I explain this? You make it very clear that you are interested in them in a romantic way. You might use a chat-up line, a phrase to get a person's attention to show your romantic interest in them. But really, it's not always associated with the best way of approaching a woman or a man. If he tried to hit on me, meaning he tried to get my attention. Now, a really simple phrasal verb, to ask someone out. Now, when you ask them out, you could do it in terms of, would you like to go to the cinema with me? And it might be just a purely platonic, meaning non-romantic gesture. But if you ask somebody out in a romantic way, you are asking them out on a date. So that should be a nice simple one, to ask somebody out. Okay, now this phrasal verb I think is more American. It's not a phrasal verb I use particularly. To hook up. To hook up with someone means that you got together in what could be a sexual way, maybe a little bit of hanky-panky. You can watch our sex slang lesson to learn a few more expressions associated with sex and kissing. Okay, phrasal verb number 9, I think. To go out with somebody. Now really this would come after somebody has asked you out. If you go out with somebody, or very often we would say I'm going out with him, it can mean that you go out on a date, or it can mean that you are in the beginning of a romantic relationship. So we're going out, we are dating. And it refers to the actual relationship, I'm going out with him. Not usually too serious if you say that you're going out with somebody. Cheat on. It means that you have an affair, usually sexual, So it's not a nice thing to happen to you or to do to somebody. So if somebody has cheated on you, I really hope that you broke up with them pretty fast. So number 11, to make up, to solve an argument or a problem, to reconcile would be the formal. Now, if you make up with a partner or a friend, it might be because you've had a big argument. And number 12, it might be because you've fallen out. So usually you'd fall out with somebody, you argue with them, you disagree for a short period of time, hopefully short, and then you make up after. This can be referring to both a romantic or a platonic friendship. Now, the next phrasal verb is usually something we associate with friendships, but it can happen in a relationship. You can drift apart, and this just means that you kind of slowly go your separate ways, usually because you change as a person, or it might be because you're living far away from each other. So to drift apart means that you become less close and often lose contact. Now, one of my favourite phrasal verbs is to put up with. To put up with somebody, to put up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, often in a long-term relationship or friendships or even family relationships. People do things that annoy you, that make you go a little bit crazy. So, for example, your girlfriend might leave her clothes all over the floor. Your boyfriend might leave wet towels on the bathroom floor or on the bed, if you're really going to be annoyed. And you put up with this. You tolerate this behavior, usually because you love them very much. But to put up with can refer to a lot of other situations, also at work and in your day-to-day life. You put up with something or somebody. You tolerate it. Whew, okay, last phrasal verb. Now, if you have gone through all these phrasal verbs in your relationships or in your romantic relationship, then you might finally settle down. To settle down means you get married, have children, and often you find a home, somewhere to live, get a mortgage. Some of it can be great fun, some of it's just a lot of responsibility. So have you settled down yet? It's a great phrasal verb. Try and use it in the comments box below. In fact, have a go at using any of these very common relationship phrasal verbs. Don't forget to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat, and share this lesson with other students and friends of yours that you think it could help. Don't forget to subscribe to Love English for lots more phrasal verbs, and check out the next lesson about the grammar of phrasal verbs to make sure you use these ones correctly. Thank you for watching. Bye.